Hi, my name's Tony and I'm from the Sup Company, and I'm here to compare the 10.6 ride and 10.8 ride from Red Paddle Co. So here we are with a comparison video of Red Paddle Co.'s two best-selling boards. That's the 10.6 ride and then also its stablemate and sibling, the 10.8 ride. And the reason simply for the comparison video is we get asked a lot, which board should I buy? And the decision's made all the harder because they're the same money. Red Paddle Co. in their wisdom set both boards at the same price point. It makes a lot of sense to us because it means that people really can then find the right board that's best for them rather than just having budget at the end of the day steer or play any factor in the decision making. Now, these two boards, while they are within the ride family and stablemates as a result, they are exceptionally different to paddle. The 10.8 is obviously the bigger board, 2 inches longer overall, but what's key is the 2 inches in its width, because the overall outline shape of both boards is nigh on identical. The features within both boards, the carry handles, the bungee system, the handle on the tail, and then in 2021, the twin fin system makes them perform and have very, very similar features. But it's the width, the overall width is the key factor for difference. And that additional width does really two things. It increases the volume, so the amount of buoyancy or float that the board has. It increases the volume in the 10.8 quite a bit over and above the 10.6. The 10.6 works really well for paddlers of say 100, 105 kilos, while the 10.8, in terms of its upper limit of what it's happy with, you're talking around 115, 120 kilos. Now, it's worthy of note that both the boards will actually take weights in excess of that. But the reason for the guides are really reflecting the dryness of the ride. So if you're looking for a dry paddling experience, so the board's going to sit not too low in the water and see the deck pad immersed, then yeah, you need to stick to those rider guides, those rider weight limits. But the 10.8 is much more increased. The other thing with the 10.8 and the width in the truest sense at 34 inches wide is stability. The 10.8 is exceptionally stable. So much so that after a short, reasonable period of time, it starts to dull the experience. And that's not to detract from the 10.8 in any way. It is in its own right a really, really good board. But where it starts to limit you in terms of that width is your progression. Because you progress very quickly as a paddler and you start to find your feet in the truest sense and you start to be very, very happy on the boards. And that width, while it adds to the overall stability, is it starts to work against you in terms of each paddle stroke. Because the further the paddle is away from the center line of each board, the further away it is from the center of effort. So invariably what you're doing is inducing a greater turning moment by being further away from the center line. With the 10.6 though, by contrast, is with it being 32 inches wide, and I appreciate it's only 2 inches of difference, but it does make a difference. With it being 32 inches wide, the paddle is that much nearer the center line of the board. It wants to track better, it wants to stay straighter, and it wants to travel in a truer line. It also wants to glide a little bit better. It doesn't feel as sticky as a 10.8 ride. And that's because that reduction in width reduces its overall wetted surface area and therefore its drag. So it just wants to go a little bit easier through the water than the 10.8. But, and this is the but, that 32-inch width is, without a shadow of a doubt, less stable than the 34-inch width of the 10.8. So if you are a slightly larger rider, or if you're looking for a really stable family board that you can go on and with a passenger or two little passengers on here, the 10.8 makes a really no-brainer choice as a family board. If though you're looking for a board that you can go and use as an individual, go and paddle on your own right, go and have some fun, playing some small waves, a little bit more responsive, a little bit of a sharper all-round experience with occasional small passengers on board, the 10.6 makes a really good choice and is going to last you and offer a little bit more room for progression than a 10.8 ride. And that really is it. And that's kind of, all of those qualities are about compromise. It just depends what area you're prepared to make compromise within. Overall though, it's easy to see why these two boards are just as popular as they are and why they're as sought after as they are. And really, that not just only goes towards when the boards are new, but also their residual value as well. The one thing that Red do, being at the premium end of the market, particularly with the quality that the boards are and the overall package, is in the used market, what we see is they're extremely sought after and they command really, really good residual values. So look, there you are. If you've got any questions about the Red Paddle Co ride range or the Red Paddle Co range as a whole, give us a call in the shop or head over to thesupco.com. Thanks for watching our video. If you've got any questions about what you've seen, why not head over to thesupco.com or give us a call in the shop. To stay up to date though with all of our videos, make sure you subscribe up here. But if you want to see the next video, well, take a look down here.